Welcome guys, I'm Shantez and today I'm talking to you guys regarding my Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. Now I own this car for a few years now and wanted to give you a quick review on how things are with this car, whether it's a reliable car, and if you're looking for this car in the market at this moment, whether it's a good buy for you or not. So let's jump into the video. First off, let me talk to you about when I bought this car. So I bought this car sometime around October 2016, and owning this car for almost 4 years now, I really didn't have any bad experience. Whenever I drive this car, it makes me feel good. Whenever I have a down day or I'm feeling down, I go for a cruise with this car and it always gives me smiles and makes me feel good. So I think that is the most valuable thing I think this car actually has done for me, because like a lot of cars you can buy, it makes you happy, it's flashy, it's fast, you can race with it, you get a lot of fun out of it, and I think this car actually fits right in the middle of all those characteristics. So if you are looking for a car and something that is much more than just a daily driver, I think this car is actually right in that level. Now, I actually drove this car in the winters of Michigan, and to be honest, if you don't have all-season tires, I think you are going to spin out over and over. It took me almost 2 hours to drive 15 miles to my home at a night when it was snowing because I had summer tires in my car. So if you're going to drive it in the winter, I think this is something you have to do. On another thing, when I first bought this car, I really liked the look of this car. However, the tires were very skinny and they're always spinning, and I needed something different. So I looked up online, and most people, this is a must upgrade for your car if you own a Scat Pack, is the tires. You have to go a wider, which is 275/40, I believe. I'm going to put a link or a description for in the comment below if you want to check the tire size, if it's right for your car or not. Now, when I first bought this car, I actually drove the manual transmission. Now, I didn't want to buy the manual transmission because whenever I'm doing from 0 to 45 at a regular cruise, I'm always shifting gears constantly, and I really didn't like the feeling, because it gets very intense because you're not always driving the car at full throttle. So at a cruise, you want to be relaxed, so that's why I optioned with the automatic transmission. Now, the thing with the automatic transmission is you are actually saving gas because 4 cylinders actually shuts down when you're cruising. So it's basically turns into a 4-cylinder car, and you're actually getting better mileage. Now, I'm averaging about 12 to 13 miles per gallon because I actually have a heavy foot, so but I usually don't drive this car that much. Now, I have almost crossed 25,000 miles recently, and I have a second car which I actually use it for a daily, and this one I usually go sometimes to work or to the gym, or in the weekends I usually drive this car. Now, the things which I really like about this car is that the look of this car is very mean. Like when you're actually driving in the freeway and you're on the fast lane, people actually move over because you're coming behind them. Like when I actually drive my other daily driver and I am in the fast lane, no one actually gives anything because they don't want to move over. But whenever you're driving this car, it's like an actual respect kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but they actually move over and let you pass. I think they know that you're actually going faster and you're driving a sports car. Now, look aside, I really like the engine on this car. Yes, it's a heavy 6.7 liter engine, but it's a original V8. Like when you stop in the traffic light, the car actually shakes because of how the pistons are firing. And I think this is a classic feel which you get. I think they incorporated it on this new model. Now, the engine itself produces about mid 400 horsepower on the wheel, so I think it's pretty decent comparing to the Camaros and the Mustangs. You can actually get a better deal because this car is a little bit faster than those. I've raced few of them, other than the Hellcat models like the Chargers and the actual Challenger Hellcats. They're a little bit faster, and in the freeway, when you're actually doing over certain speed limit, you don't actually notice that the performance difference at a higher speed is very minimal. And so if you're looking for right in the middle where you don't need to burn so much gas and going 8 miles to a gallon, where you can actually buy a car which is not going to cost that much but give you the same performance level. Another thing which I want to point out is that this car is actually pretty quiet inside comparing to the other sports cars. Now, this is pretty heavy. The interior is not that good. The touch feelings on certain sections on the car is not that nice. And this is an American car, and usually their trims make squeaky noises, which I don't like. If you drive a German car, you already know what I'm talking about. However, the interior is pretty quiet if you're cruising in the road and you don't even notice how fast you're going. Like if you're doing 90 miles an hour, you wouldn't even feel that you're going 90 miles an hour. So sometimes if you have passengers in the car, you actually don't notice that you're doing 90 and the passenger doesn't even notice that you're doing 90. So overall, like high speed, this car actually shines. But however, there's a drawback when you're actually cruising at 25 miles an hour road, and it's pretty hard to stay on that speed limit because the transmission is so heavy and the engine is so heavy. It's so hard for the torque to set in certain way so that you could actually cruise in 25 miles an hour, because I think this car is designed to go fast, so it's pretty hard for certain times to actually think that this will go 25 miles an hour very smoothly. So that's something which I don't like about this car. The other thing which I don't like, it's actually the tires itself, that I go through tires almost a set every year. The reason I probably am saying this is because I went through 3 sets already. However, this car is very heavy. So if you're making turns, you feel like you're driving a boat. And it's not a good feeling. On turns, this car is horrible. However, like on a straight line and when you're cruising, this car is very fast. The weight actually makes it very planted in the ground, and it makes you feel like you're doing a lower speed but you're going pretty fast. So the tire wears out pretty quickly, and I think it's all because of it's a rear-wheel drive car, and the weight, actually you have to move so much weight all the time, so you're gonna go through tires pretty quickly. I actually didn't upgrade my tires to drag radials because I usually don't race this car, and I think if I race, I'll probably lose because there's Hellcats out there which is way faster than this car from 0 to 60, so I don't think so this is worth investing my money in. However, the all-season tires which I put in, which are the Continentals 275s, I think they actually outperforms the other tires you can actually buy in the market, comparing to performance versus cost versus long duration durability. So if you are looking for a car which is pretty nice and gives you an overall kind of happiness of driving and certain key aspects which I also want to mention, the reliability on this car. So far I've driven this car to about 25,000 miles, and I didn't had any issues with the engine, transmission, or anything with the car. The only thing like I mentioned is the tires. I go through tires pretty quickly, and other than that, I think this is a good car. And certain of my friends also own a similar model. However, he actually upgraded his audio system, and he was having some power steering issues. So that's something which I think the wiring guys didn't do it well. So I think this is something you guys need to make sure that nobody actually messed around with the wiring. So other than that, this is a great car to have and own, and as an owner for almost 4 years, I really loved it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. I hope you liked this video. I hope it's helped you in certain ways, and I'll see you on the next one, and thank you for watching.